Hi, welcome to Brady's Blunders, where I show you the mistakes in my games, hoping you don't make the same ones in yours. And actually today's Brady's Blunder is going to be an old-fashioned typical one, in that I'm going through one of my games. What? What? What about AlphaGo? I can hear a lot of you saying that. What about AlphaGo? Well, yeah, alright, a couple things about that. I actually did already make an AlphaGo video about the recent series, and it was about game one, and by the time I was getting ready to edit it, I think they were already playing the pair go, and whatever, game two had already happened anyway, and it felt, well, almost obsolete, so I didn't really feel like posting that one, even though I thought it was okay. So yeah, that exists, but I haven't put it up. And I've been actually working kind of hard on a AlphaGo wrap-up. I mean, I've got pages of notes of what I want to say, and don't worry, you can't read that. It's chicken scratch. And but the problem is I've got a little bit of too much desire for it to be perfect, and therefore I haven't filmed it yet. I wanted to reflect how I feel about AlphaGo, and I'm afraid that's kind of slowing me down, if that makes sense. So in an effort to get on the wagon, or whatever the phrase is, I thought I'd just make a normal video. And even that turned out to have more variations than I wanted to memorize, but what the hell. All right, let's jump into it. So this is a game that I recently played at the European Joseki Dojang. And, well, before I get into it, let me, again, I've mentioned it in the past, this is a program run by Insang Huang, and it's a great way to learn. And he has a boatload of videos that, you know, where he talks about common variations and openings and Tsuji and the like. And he's also a terrific reviewer of games. Another reason I really like it is he sets up a league where the games are serious. They mean something. They're slow, and you can get promoted and demoted. Anyway, great stuff. I'll link to his program below. If you want an example of how he teaches, he did a great analysis of the self-paired AlphaGo games. Anyway, I'll link to all that stuff below. So most of the comments in this video come directly from him. If I've done anything wrong, for sure, that's my fault. Okay, I'm playing black. This is one of those league games I was talking about. And I played the last move down here. And my opponent played here. Now this move was a mistake. I'll try to explain why in just a minute, but first, if you were black, where would you play now? And if you want to think about it for a minute, go ahead and pause. Okay. White's purpose with this move, it's actually kind of nasty. It's undermining my base already, but it's got a terrific follow-up, and that is if I play somewhere else, White is probably thinking of this continuation here, where he can step down like this. And if I go ahead and connect this way, then he can connect this stone out. And you can see that the stone he just played is perfectly positioned. And you can see that these three stones are getting swallowed at scale, and it looks really good for White. But even if I play the other side and capture the cutting stone, this result still looks terrific for White, because this isn't yet alive, and he's going to gain points by attacking it, and he's also growing this side. So I think that was White's intention with his follow-up, and I certainly had that in mind. But I didn't want to play a simple defensive move, you know, one space jump or something like that. And I decided that the best way to defend my group would be to attack it. But I want you to understand that for sure. I feel that these two stones are in a little bit of danger due to that clever attack. And I played here, which was a good move in this case. The reason why White's move here was bad is I've now approached his corner twice. So in this case, before launching into an attack, he should think about defense and just play here. And then he's claiming a big corner, which will be able to reduce my side, and it will make the effectiveness of his attachment here even better. And the odds that I'm going to defend that right now and play this way, well, if I do, it's kind of a slow-looking move, isn't it? So that would have been a better sequence for white. And playing here gave me the opportunity to go ahead and say, well, hey, if you ignored A and B, I'm going to jump in and take your corner. And this is a very aggressive move. And that's what to keep in mind as I ask future questions, because white blocked here. So the next question, again, you're black. Where would you play now? And think about why you'd play that way too. All right, this is the last time I'm going to suggest pausing. I'll give a pause. You can pause more if you want. I played here, which was wrong, and I followed it up with one more mistake. So I'll show you what actually happened, and then what I should have played. White blocked here. I defended. Black connected here, and then I played down here. And then white haned on top, right here. I was quite happy because I was able to push up here and cut off this single stone. So with this result, I felt terrific. I was actually really ecstatic. White had played this move with the intention of attacking my stones, and I responded by taking away his corner and connecting and creating a stronger shape for those stones. So I defended by attacking, and I felt pretty good about it. But it wasn't optimal. And let me explain why by going backwards. Okay. The first problem is giving white this move. So when white gets this, he's getting both outside shape and eye shape, if you will, right? One more move here, he captures this black stone. So white probably isn't going to have a big problem living. And so what could I have done about that? Well, before playing here, I could have descended here. So I've known about this descent. I've seen it countless times over the years. I've known about it for years. But my question has always been, well, when do you play it? When do you choose to play it? When do you choose not to? And what I think I'm discovering is the answer is this isn't really a move to save territory over here, although sometimes it can do that. And it's not a move to meekly connect underneath, although sometimes it can do that. The real purpose of this black move is to put pressure on white and to say, white, you are not yet alive, and I'm going to attack you. And so when you think that the initial purpose of my attack, of my invading the corner, was to attack this white group, then it makes sense, right? This move should have been almost automatic. White can go ahead and block, separate here, and then I can make the same move I did anyway. And even if white hanes this time, it's nowhere near as powerful. Even if he cuts, I can get this Tari in for free and come out this way. And at best, what white's going to get over here is, is an eye. So and I would gain great thickness out of it, right? If white comes out this way, you can go ahead and play through the variations yourself, but regardless, I'm pretty happy. So that means this descent is definitely a move worth playing in a situation like this. But as I said, initially, my very first move after invading the corner was wrong. And black's goal should actually be to create defects in white shape and to take the corner away even bigger. And so after white blocks here, black should go ahead and move further into the corner. Now, I want to stress, this is a move to attack white shape. If white is really strong in the area, then the hane underneath, which I did at first, is the better choice. Okay, black can block here, and then I go ahead and hane underneath. And again, what's my purpose here? My purpose is to attack white, so I will go ahead and descend. Let me show you the rarer variation first. But if white goes ahead and plays a move like this, then that means my corner can live with a single move, so I don't have to defend it right away. I can move out this way. So for example, if later on white tries to kill the corner, then this move is sente, and therefore I'm fully alive. So that's why this move doesn't put as much pressure on black. And instead, it's more common to see white descend. Now, it's true that if white gets the next move in this area, that black can die, so we have to keep that in mind. In the common variations from here, black's next move depends on whether the ladder is good. And by that, I'm referring to this ladder here at A. And it turns out that if I play a stone there, it can be captured in a ladder. But let's say, for the sake of argument, it can't. If it can't be captured in a ladder, then I can go ahead and play right here. White's standard continuation is to go ahead and defend that cutting point, and then black would go ahead and descend. And this makes a living shape now. So now if you look at white, his shape is pretty annoying, right? He started off with this corner. Now I've taken the corner and I'm on both sides. He's just a floating string with a little bit of eye shape, but not great. And as a matter of fact, for his next move, what he'd really like to do is play here. But it just so happens that before this variation started, that was the last move I played. So this would be a really annoying continuation for white. If white is stubborn and says, hey, wait, you didn't defend the corner, I can kill it. This is actually true. White can kill the corner. But nevertheless, I will go ahead and cut right away. Now, even if the ladder's not good, white's going to go ahead and start the ladder and then come back and make shape over here. And when black pulls back this way, it's threatening to either put a sort of net around these stones or to capture these. So white will go ahead and say, no, 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 I'm going to kill the corner, and black can go ahead and play here. Now, the problem for white is white has only 4 liberties on this group of stones, which means white can't break through, because as soon as he tries to break through, he's only going to have 3 and then 2 liberties, and all of a sudden we'll have fewer than these black stones here. So that's it. The situation is actually at a bit of a pause right now. White's gained the corner, which actually white kind of started with anyway, and black has gained tremendous thickness on the outside, which in this particular game would be really useful. So this is how black should react if white goes ahead and says, I'm going to kill the corner. Okay, go ahead, but I'm getting a good result too. All right, this was the variation when I said that the ladder was good for black. If the ladder is not good for black, then it would go ahead and jump 1 stone further, setting up that ladder again. And again, the proper defense is going to be for white to go ahead and play here, and then black would defend the corner this way, and then white could turn something like this. And again, it's just like the other variation in that black is kind of happy on both sides, and white would really like to extend to here, but can't. Oh, one other thing that some of you, this shape may look counterintuitive to some of you, but I want to explain it really quickly. And I know that a lot of people would prefer to play this and make the corner bigger still, right? Because, you know, yeah, now it's bigger. It's a shape we're more used to. But the problem is this exchange for A and B is really bad for black, because maybe black gained a point here, but it needlessly split these black stones, or further split these stones, putting a lot more pressure on these black stones here. So this is something that I see some double-digit Q and even some single-digit Q go ahead and make this exchange. But now I hope you understand why this is better, because there is some Aji to connect underneath later. And why go ahead and force your opponent to split if you don't have to? Okay. So this is why it would have been better for me to go ahead and push out. You can see that the result for white is pretty awful. So let's come back, though, to the real game. Let's see, I played here. And as I said, I was happy because I was able to push up and cut. And so my thinking was this. The purpose of this white move was to go ahead and attack these two stones, and I saved these two stones by going ahead and taking away the corner and connecting out. So I thought this was just a terrific result for me. I won the fight. And that maybe does some explaining of what happened right after. White played here, which is a bit of an overplay, and then played here. So the next question is, you're black, where would you play? I'll bet you most of you get this one right, even though I didn't. All right. So here my contentedness let me down. And I think if I felt under pressure in this game, if I thought I wasn't winning, for sure I would have played this, which is the correct move. White's just, with this moves, he's just asking black, please separate me. And these stones could come under some real pressure. And furthermore, even the two stones that are pressuring me, they're under pressure. So White's got two weak groups. I've got one. Okay, In Sung put it like this. You have to come out, Brady. You just have to come out. And even if you lose the game, you have to come out. It's fighting spirit. And it's just, without hesitation, this is the move that should have been played. But because I felt I gained so much, and I read a variation that let me for sure connect with these stones, I went ahead and played this way. Even though I knew White would take the Satari. But now I'm all connected. And like I said, content. But that was, in this case, a loser's attitude. And one that I hope to fix. I mean, even White's next move, I still played contentedly and confidently with this move here. But what I haven't taken into account is the situation at the top. My problem at the top is that all White needs is a few reinforcing moves, and these three black stones are going to get swallowed up on scale, even if I tried to move them out. The reason I haven't moved them out so far is I didn't see any necessary benefit to doing it. I didn't feel like I'd be attacking anything. I would just be running with the weak group. I think it would have been better to have run out earlier. But the problem is with my playing all these third line stones is here I am getting 2 points a move, 2 points a move, 2 points a move, but I'm creating the opportunity for my opponent to go ahead and start dominating the center, as he did. And actually, even when my opponent played this, I really should have cut. Just cut and see what happens. Go ahead and fight. And this would have been, well, more interesting and better for me. Okay, but I didn't, and instead I played passively. Overconfident, content, I don't know what the word is. And then when my opponent played here, I spent quite a bit of time before playing this. And sad reason for it, and I think I just must have been in a really bad place when I played this game. The sad reason for it was, again, I could read it, right? I can't be cut here, and I'm reducing the center. But am I really? Or am I just encouraging White to grow the center still more? And which is what it turned out was really the case. White had his eye on the center, and I was just making a few points along the edge. And I decided, hey, I need to reduce that center. I need to reduce that center, and if I can do it and grow this area, that would be great. And honestly, at this point, White should just go ahead and say, no, okay, no, I'm just going to hold the center. But White didn't, and instead White challenged me to a fight. And I find this really interesting because both of us did a lot of intense reading, and it turned out I won the fight. I won't show it, but we played another, I don't know, 20, 30 moves, and this ended up being the final shape. So you can see he was cutting me and I was cutting him, but in the end, I went ahead and captured his cutting stones, grew this territory all the way to the 6th line, and was reasonably happy. But the problem was, White built this huge wall, totally controlling the center, totally controlling the game. These stones are now useless, and he was able to come here. Sure, I was able to reduce the center, but not nearly enough. And this is a great example of winning the battle, hell, winning 2 battles and losing the war, because I kicked some butt over here, and then I kicked butt again over here, but I didn't recognize how big the center was, and I lost this game by over 20 points. So how should I have played when white played here? I started that big fight, and I told you I was happy with the result. I needed to recognize, and my opponent needed to recognize, that the center was everything right now. And I needed to just move out and go ahead and sacrifice, 10 points, 20 points over here, so long as I'm not letting him make 40 in the center. And I don't know that I'm ahead, but at least it's still a game. And when I move out, there's no guarantee that I'm going to lose everything over here anyway. So again, this move would have shown a better sense of direction. So what are the key learnings from this? The first one is, even though your opponent has 2 stones in the corner, starting with the 4-4, if you're surrounding them, it is worth jumping straight into the 3-3. If I'd gone back and played this way, then I'm just helping white get a base, and this wouldn't have been as good. So definitely no this 3-3 move. But next key learning, again, when you're attacking it, take this extension first. It doesn't lead to a ko when the opponent's weak. Instead, it leads to threatening a cut. And then the other part is, instead of this move, remember that this is an attacking move. The purpose of this is to put lots of pressure on white. And as soon as you realize that, you'll be more likely to play it in your own games. Well, I speak for myself, I suppose. And then finally, there's this one. Staring at it now, I have no idea how I didn't play the right move. But fighting spirit calls for it, and even just denying the center calls for it. I had to move out into the center. I had to challenge white to a fight. The approach that I took was just too soft. Well, this was a beating. I sure learned something from it, and hopefully it was valuable to you guys too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and like it, subscribe, comment. You guys know the deal, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.